All right, tubers, Madame Roy back once again, back to wearing my Bob's Big Boy shirt, although it doesn't really fit very well anymore. I have Baxter on the bed over here kneading away like this with his claws, which definitely need to be cut. See if we can get a closer look at B. Here he is. Hey, buddy, what you doing? You want to say hi to everybody on YouTube? You content to play with your tissue box, buds? Yeah, good boy. Good boy, Baxty. Pretty cat. Pretty cat. You got a little bit of a belly. Look at that belly. Look at that belly happening there. Yeah, you're very lonesome, aren't you? All right, so I do not know how many of you are going to be able to attend. I'm doing this at an awkward time, mainly for those of you that are foreign subscribers. A lot of you are telling me that you can't really make it to my usual live streams, which are usually between 6 and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm doing them a few hours earlier, hopefully going to help my other subscribers come to these. Right now, I'm drinking some Food Lion Donut Shop blend coffee out of this red copper coffee mug. Must tell you, I absolutely love this. I purchased 2 of these from Boscov's department store in Pennsylvania. Where was that one? Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I got for $13. I got 2 of them, and these things are great. They're copper lined. And what it is there's actually like a paint that goes in there. I don't want to say it's a paint. It's like an emulsion process that they adhere the little paint in there too. And this keeps your drinks hot or cold for up to 7 hours. The one thing I will tell you that I had to do, though, they come with like a suction cup on the bottom that covers the entire bottom. You can kind of see it right there, what's left of it. But if you don't like that, you can actually go ahead and just peel away that part of the suction cup, and you still have a little bit of a rim here that'll keep it nice and sturdy on the table. Reason I didn't like the suction cup was anytime I put it down on any surface, it would stick to it, and I have to pull up so hard that I would inevitably spill some of my coffee. Isn't that right, Baxty? Good boy. Good boy. George Blakely is here. And I'm going to do this for a few minutes. If we don't get a lot of people, I will probably just end it. This is kind of more of an experiment than anything else. I want to see what times would be good for everybody to attend. A little bit of news. There is a chicken recall in the U.S. for the listeria virus. Kind of nasty. And it does involve a few of our local grocery stores, Kroger, Food Lion being the 2 that are around here. And if you can, I'm going to go ahead and share this with you. This is a link to the USDA website. No, I didn't want to do that. Hang on a second. Here we go. If you are worried that you may have some chicken that is affected by this recall in your kitchen, go ahead and click the link I just shared, and I'll bring you to a PDF file, I believe it is, something similar to a PDF file, and it tells you not only the brands this chicken was sold under, but also the type of chicken. Like I'm looking here, Purdue, West Creek, Tip Top, Cisco. And to give an example, it says the Tip Top brand half white cooked chicken meat. It looks like most of it is the stuff that's pre-cooked, so kind of like the pre-packaged stuff. But I'm looking. Yeah, it appears that everything listed here is like the pre-packaged stuff. So we got cooked pulled turkey, turkey meat, white pulled. We have half diced cooked chicken, white meat. So if you guys have raw chicken in your fridge, then you should be fine. But go ahead and look at that list anyway. Make sure you don't have anything in your refrigerator or freezer that might make you sick. Hired Gun is here. Awesome. What you doing? You gonna come say hi? Well, you know how we can make Baxter come say hi to us? Catnip. Now, all I have to do, watch this. Smell that, bud? He smells the catnip. You smell the catnip, Baxter? You want some? Want a little bit? Want a little bit, bud? This is how you can tell if they're in the mood for it. You let them sniff it. And he rubs. See how he's rubbing against there? Which means he really wants some. So what I'm going to do, use the lid here, put a little bit of the catnip on the deep end of the lid. Just like that. You don't really need to give him too much more than that. And then let him go to town on it in the background so you guys can have something to amuse yourself other than me. Now we can actually kind of get that in the camera. All right, so who do we have here? I see we got 7 watchers. Who's here right now? Anybody? Jonathan Grindle wants to recommend a router, the Amplify HD, just the standalone router, not the mesh version. Okay, yeah, they've had some issues with the mesh versions, which are supposed to give you a more even coverage throughout your house, but they're not always the greatest. Sometimes they don't have the greatest speeds. Interesting. I'll have to look into that. Right now, I'm actually running off of 2 routers. I have the original FiOS router, which is kind of getting old at this point, but I don't really use it that much. And then I have another, what is it, a Linksys AC1900 router tethered to that. So it's actually doing our house just fine. And you got to remember something. For the most part, the only internet that's used in this house is in this room, which everything is wired gigabit Ethernet, or in the den. And that is literally the room right next to us. So I could pretty much have a cheap Belkin router, and that would reach there just fine. Josh asks, Matt, have any of your customers started to ask for PC bundles with ultra-wide monitors? I had a few people ask, but in my case, if they want ultra-wide monitors, what I'll suggest is they buy the computer from me and then go buy an ultra-wide from like Best Buy or Office Max or Walmart, because if I could even get the ultra-wide monitors in, which it's very hard, it would cost me more to buy them a lot of times used than they could go and just buy them brand new. So generally I'll just send them to one of those stores and have them buy it brand new, but they'll usually get the PC from me. I am very dry right now, so I'm going to go ahead and take another sip of this. And again, check this out. Next time you guys are in a Boscov's, if you're on the East Coast here, like in New York, Pennsylvania area, this was in the auditorium or the special buy section. And I have to say, these things are really impressed me so far. And I do beat on these quite a bit. I take these with me on my bikes. They get knocked around. I've actually run over these things with my bike before. And you can see they're still in pretty good shape. Got a few little scrapes and dings on there. But other than that, they're holding up pretty darn well. George Blakely says, like your big boy shirt, Matt. Thank you, George. I like it too, albeit it's a little bit on the large side. It's an extra large shirt, and I really need to get to a large, and even a medium, depending on how well the shirts are made. Jonathan Griddle says, I'm staying away from Best Buy since they're starting to overprice stuff on the TV and SSDs. It all depends. You have to remember something. Hard drives, SSDs, things like that, the prices will fluctuate depending on how much the manufacturing is costing. When there are issues over in Japan where they're being manufactured, like I remember a few years back, they had some typhoons hit over there, basically the equivalent of a hurricane that demolished and destroyed a lot of the manufacturing buildings there. The prices of them went up. So there are a lot of reasons that the prices can go up. Now, of course, in Best Buy's case, it might just be they're getting greedy and they want to make more money. Best advice to use if you're looking for a good price on an SSD, check out newegg.com or tigerdirect.com, and even look at places like Amazon and eBay. eBay is always a good option, but you're not necessarily going to get the best price on eBay. So shop around for sure. And yes, you probably will have to go online if you want to find the best price. It's kind of sad in this day and age when so many retailers are struggling and going out of business. But the main reason is you can get things cheaper online and you don't have to go drive out to get it. Now, of course, the downside of that is you have to wait for it to come in. But with like Amazon Prime, overnight shipping, 2-day shipping, it's not such a big deal anymore. Do you eat all that, Baxter? He got tired of it. Milo really gets affected more by catnip than Baxter does. It's really strange. Got another one of those scam email or scam text messages about a laptop that I listed. We talked a little bit about that in the live stream I did last night. When you're selling on platforms like OfferUp, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, LetGo, even Nextdoor, you want to be very, very careful because there are a lot of scammers out there and they're very easy to spot. Generally, it'll be a couple of things. One, it'll be a foreign area code, like it won't be your local area code. And two, what they'll do is they'll copy your ad verbatim, word for word, and maybe just add still available or may not even add that. Or they'll do that and they'll ask you to email them. If they're asking you to email them, that is a big no-no right off the bat, especially for things like Craigslist, OfferUp, and LetGo, because you're supposed to, by their rules, use their internal chat service. And if you don't, you can actually have your account suspended or revoked entirely. Hired Gun, I just picked up a Gen 4 M2 ADATA 8200 1 terabyte drive from Amazon for $90. Smoking deal. Yeah, I would say that's a really good deal. I don't even have an SSD that big. The SSD that's in my XPS A700 is a 250 or a 240 gig. The one I have in that computer back there is also a 240, and then the one I have in my main laptop is a 500. This and the one over there, the 240s, are both Crucial MX200s, and the 500 gig I have in my laptop is just a cheap Western Digital Caviar Blue SSD. But I have to tell you, as cheap as those Western Digital Caviar Blue SSDs are, they are very reliable. I've not had any problems with that drive at all, and it is really speedy. Although it doesn't use, what do they call it? Somebody will tell me. I can't think of what it's called, but it doesn't use the faster memory. But it's perfectly fine for what I use it for. I mean, it's at least 20 to 30% faster than a conventional hard drive would be in that laptop. Jonathan Grindle, ADATA, Samsung, and Western Digital are the brands I trust on my systems for SSD since I'm starting to have issues with my Crucials. Interesting. Now, I'm very surprised because I've used Crucial SSDs almost exclusively in my computers, and I have never had one go bad. As a matter of fact, the Crucial M2 SSD that's in this computer is getting quite old. And when I say quite old, it's probably been in here for about 2 or 3 years. And I ask quite a bit of it because I do a lot of data migration and a lot of moving around data. So I'm really surprised. I don't know. Maybe they're just using cheaper components now. I mean, this isn't older. This is an MX200 series. There you go. Yours was the 300 series. So that's probably what's happening. They're using cheaper manufacturing components. It's really sad to see that because Crucial is a great name in storage, not just for SSDs, but memory. I used to exclusively buy Crucial DDR2 memory back in the day. When they went to the DDR3, I think that's when they started outsourcing a lot of their manufacturing, and I found that their memory wasn't any better than like G-Skill or Kingston or anything like that, though I guess really anything's better than Kingston. If you guys have ever used Kingston Value RAM specifically. Stuff is garbage. That's the only memory that I've ever had that right out of the box I could actually find errors. Like it would error out intermittently, especially if I used memtest to run like a burn-in test. Whew, I'm talking too much. Come on, let's get some conversation going here. Let me pick this up. See, anybody got any questions, queries, posers, anything they want answered? I see we got 9 people here. I do have a couple of videos planned, vlogs at least. One being when I get in a package from one of you guys out there. I'm not going to mention them yet. I'm going to make it a surprise when I do the vlog, but I'm getting a donation for my channel, so we'll go ahead and do that probably as a vlog. It'll definitely be part of a vlog. Jonathan Grindle, any plans to upgrade the CPU in your main rig since that CPU has gone down really cheap? Probably not. I don't see a reason to. This has got the 4790, which is a very capable quad-core i7. With the extra threads, it actually acts as an 8-core. What I will probably do is just replace this within the next year, maybe year and a half, depends on how much I can save up, and I'll relegate this to my backup rig. In other words, what I'll do is I'll probably put this over there and then retire that, because that Dell Inspiron 530, even though it works okay now, is pretty buggy at times. It's not bad for 4,500 megabits a second down and 3,300 up. It's actually not bad at all. That's on par with what you would expect from a new SSD, basically. Oh my goodness! Well, I'll tell you, I did not sleep that well last night. At least not in the beginning. I have had major allergy problems, and I don't know if any of you guys have this problem, but when I laid down last night, I could feel my sinuses filling up, and I always breathe through my nose. I don't know why. I'm just a nose breather. And last night, I was struggling to take breaths when I laid down. As a matter of fact, I laid down and went to bed around 9:30. Around 11, I couldn't fall asleep, so I got up and I went in and shut all the doors, and I took a super hot shower to kind of get things flowing, kind of alleviate the sinus problems, and that actually worked for a time. But when I woke up this morning, back again, real bad sinuses. And one thing that always worked for me when I had sinus problems is Benadryl, or diphenhydramine, if you will. That always helps clear my sinuses. It has an added benefit of making you drowsy. It'll actually help you sleep if you take it at night. Don't take it during the day. If you take that in the morning, Benadryl, for most people, it'll put you to sleep. So you'll be on your way to work and you'll probably be like falling asleep at the wheel. Yes, Jonathan, I am definitely excited for the new Picard TV show. I am not a huge Star Trek fan, but I do like watching The Next Generation and the original series on occasion. The Next Generation being my favorite of the two. I know I'm going to get some haters out there and say, whoa, 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 you can't talk smack about the original series. I'm not. I like the original series, but just prefer The Next Generation. So yes, I definitely cannot wait for that to come out. I think it's going to be very interesting. I have immense respect for Patrick Stewart, too. I mean, at his age, is all the work that he still does. He's going to be doing this. He does the voice of Avery Bullock on American Dad. He is definitely not slowing down at all. George Stewart is here. We've got 9, 10 watchers. That's not bad. I'm actually surprised a lot of the usual people are here. I figured this time of day I'd catch some of my foreign subscribers, but that's okay. As long as we're chatting, that's cool. There was something. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Okay. There was something I wanted to let you guys know. There is a possibility that I may very soon be getting rid of the Chrysler Town & Country. Those of you that are here on a regular basis already know what I'm going to tell you, but basically I have paid off that vehicle, and I did it about 2 years before the actual note was due. And I did that by buckling down, working hard, and throwing extra money at that van to pay it off. And that's something that I always recommend that you do. I don't ever recommend getting yourself into anything like a car loan. Car loans are one of the dumbest things, honestly, that you could do with your money. Now, I understand that there are instances where a car loan is necessary. I get that. But if you can all afford to buy a vehicle outright, even if it's a $2,000 or $3,000 vehicle, I would highly recommend you do that over getting into a car loan, because even with my credit, which is good, not perfect, but it's good, I still had to pay 6.5% interest on that used car loan. And I figured that over the time, it was a four-year loan, of which I only did about 2.5 years. So I actually had to pay the bulk of the interest, because you pay the interest up front, believe it or not. I think we figured that I wound up paying about $2,000 or $3,000 extra. It was about $2,500 extra for the vehicle in interest payments alone. I'm curious if anybody here has had car loans in the past, has a car loan now. How do you feel about it? How has it affected your life? Have you had to divert money from other things you wanted to do to make that payment each month? Because honestly, that's what I've had to do in the past. When I've had lean months to where I wasn't getting a lot of money coming in, and I know I had to make that car payment each month. If I didn't make that car payment each month, the repossessor was going to come, the repo man was going to come and take my vehicle away. Let me know what you guys think. I'm very curious about this, because this has been hotly debated on YouTube in recent weeks. And if you guys have any interest in this, put it in the comments. I'd like to hear about that. What you doing, Baxter? You want to leave, Mr. B? You getting ready to leave, bud? He's right at the door. Right at the door. Come on, buddy. Come on, Baxter. Yeah, he wants to leave. I'm going to have Mom let him out in a minute. Jonathan Grindle, do you have to pay for the GPS map updates when you install them on your Garmin systems? It depends. Some of the Garmin's come with lifetime map updates. You have to look at your paperwork. But the easiest way to do it is to download, and let me look it up real quick. I think it's called Garmin Desktop. Garmin Express. And what you do is, if you download that, you can download it for Windows or iOS, plug in your GPS and see what updates are available. If you have the lifetime map updates, the free ones, it'll actually tell you that once you plug your GPS in. Nobody has anything to say about auto loans, car loans, leases, anything like that? Let me know. I'm very curious. Anybody here had a car loan in the past? Anybody currently have one that they wish they didn't have? Or if you have anything positive to say about them, let me know. I'd like to get a little conversation going. I know that some of you have asked me in the past, Matt, how come you don't have a more modern vehicle, something with like Ford Sync or Apple Music Play or the Android radio? And the reason is, I just don't really care too much about those things. When I'm driving my vehicle, all I need is a radio, AM, FM, CD, cassette, what have you, because I'm old school. I like to have physical media that I can put in and out and listen to. As a matter of fact, in the Tahoe, I have a Sony Explode system that actually has the CD player that plays MP3s, and it has the little USB port where you can plug in a flash drive and get music that way. Robert Jones says, I've not had a car loan. That's good. That's really good. I'm telling you, I am very reluctant to ever have one again. It was not, I can't say it was a negative experience. There is an upside to auto loans or car loans, and that is it does help build your credit. As long as you pay your loan on time each month, it will increase your credit. But the downside is you have to pay that each month. In other words, for me, my loan was, I'm not going to tell the exact amount, but it was over $200. So I had to allocate that amount of money each month to make my car payment. That's just the way it is. I knew I had to have that money in the account. If I didn't have that money in the account and I didn't get my car paid that month, I knew the next month, once again, that repo man was going to come, take my vehicle away. And if I couldn't pay it, I lost out on the vehicle. And believe it or not, a lot of people don't know this, but once you have a vehicle repossessed, that's not the end of it. People think, oh, well, the vehicle's repossessed. They're going to go ahead and sell it, get the rest of their money, and that's it. It's not. Listen to Dave Ramsey on this. They can still hit you up. What they'll do is if you get your car repossessed, they'll take it to an auction. They'll sell it as fast as they can. We're talking about the finance company. Will sell it as fast as they can. They'll take the lowest offer, and then they'll come back at you for the rest of that money. And a lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that until I started listening to Dave Ramsey and a few other people on YouTube. So it's another thing for not ever having a car loan. What's up, Baxter? Man, he really wants out. Oh, let me see here. Still got 9 watchers. Awesome. Anybody want to talk about anything? It doesn't necessarily have to be about auto loans. I'm just trying to get the conversation going here. Come on, don't be shy. Let me know what you guys are interested in. While we're waiting, I'm going to see if I need to renew any of my posts on the Facebook Marketplace. That is another thing that you guys want to make sure you do. If you sell on specifically the Facebook Marketplace, once every 7 days, you can actually renew your post, and that actually takes it and puts it at the top of the list in your area for those groups. So make sure you do that, because a lot of people don't know that you could do that, and I didn't know that at first either. I was wondering why nothing was ever selling. Well, that was because it would get buried down in the list real fast. So make sure you renew your posts. I think Milo's at the other door. All right, tubers. Well, I think that is going to be it for this live stream. I don't really see anybody else here. Thank you guys for coming. I'm going to try to do these about once a day, or at least every other day. Just wanted to do something real quick. Hopefully, maybe I'll try another time. I think I'm going to have to try to do this in the morning versus the afternoon. All right. Thank you for coming. Please like and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.